Hey everyone, welcome back to Mining Modern. I'm Corbin Hustler, and this is White Black Zombies. So Julian Berteau took this to the top 8 of Madrid. It was a team tournament, so only the top 4 got to the playoffs, but it was in the top 8. This White Black Zombies list here that makes use of a full 4 smuggling copters, which is pretty great. I also believe they won. This person won a PTQ with it, so congrats to them. Right on time on this Inquisition of Kozilek, I might add. But okay, so we will go ahead and run out the Copter here. Copter's just turns out an all-around great magic card. Next turn we get to play Blood. We can't actually play Bloodghast and Inquisition here, so we'll see what our opponent's up to. Might be a Tarmogoyf for what do you call it, Grim Flayer here or something, or Dark Confidant. All right, so we will just Liliana away the Dark Confidant. Not ideal, but you know what? This isn't the worst either, because we get to untap, play Lingering Souls, and have a crew for the Copter to attack. Probably maybe discarding the other Lingering Souls. We'll see what we draw here. Or I guess we'll just discard. Our first discard will be Bloodghast. We also probably get a Liliana activation out of this, so we'll see how things turn out. I know the Copter is theoretically going to be very good in this matchup, though. Just black-green rock, I assume. Well, I guess you couldn't have thought these are Inquisition, because that's the only thing you really want us to discard. I also am completely fine with my opponent, whether they're Jund, Abzan, or just black-green rock, spending their mana on this, which is going to be a pretty key turn, Thoughtseizing us. Yeah, this Inquisition was fairly awkward in my hand anyways, given we didn't have really a great window to use it. You know, next turn we want to be casting Lingering Souls. You know, if we draw a land, obviously it's fine, but our opponent's tanking here. Pretty sure you have to take the Inquisition of Kozilek. The real question is going to be whether our opponent has an answer to Liliana. If we get to get another turn with Liliana, get an activation, that's big. The discard might matter, right? You know, wow, took the Lingering Souls. Okay, and they are playing Jund, I think. Interesting, okay. Well, they're right. I can understand it. This is going to be a grind fest, right? It's a Jund versus a recursive white-black deck. But in theory, we have a lot of good cards in this matchup, and we're on the play, which, you know, as you can tell by this Liliana answering Dark Confidant cleanly matters quite a bit. All right, I like where things are at right now. It depends on what our opponent has here. I guess, you know, even if it's a Tarmogoyf or something, that's not bad. As a matter of fact, you know, discarding that Lingering Souls actually cleans things up for us quite a bit, because we can flash it back and Inquisition here and crew the Copter. And if we have a land, to get the Bloodghast back as well. So really the best draw would be to draw a land plus Liliana, discard Bloodghast, play land, get Bloodghast back, use that to crew the Copter, then flash back the Lingering Souls and Inquisition. That would be ideal. That way we get everything. We get to do everything. We get Inquisition. We get to get our Lingering Souls. We get our attacking with Copter. That's where we want to be. Let's see what's up here. Our opponent's either deep in the tank or disconnecting, one of the two. I don't know how you're supposed to tell if it's Jund or, you know, I mean, it's got to be Jund, right? We got Thoughtseize, Dark Confidant. All right. Oh, interesting. Brutality, huh? Yeah, they tanked. They are ready to grind it out. No more Lingering Souls for us. All right, there's the land. Great. Okay, so we will discard the Bloodghast. Yeah, this is all pretty fine. I'm definitely okay with this turn of events. Play the land. Yeah, our opponent, I can understand why they're doing what they're doing, because you know it's going to be a grind, and you know that these are the best grind cards we have. You may as well try to get it. All right, so we will crew up the Copter here. Now, we have to keep in mind, this can actually attack our Liliana. So there's something to be said for keeping this Mutavault back. I guess we're going to have the token from the Lingering Souls. All right, I'm going to loot here. We have a lot of value with discarding stuff. Like that, Dread Wanderer. Happy to discard it. Get in for 3. And we won't be bringing it back this turn. Maybe we will, actually. All right, let's... Well, no, because it costs 3. All right, we're just going to Inquisition our opponent here. Yeah, those are good Magic cards for sure. Well, I think that we take the Abrupt Decay. The Fatal Push will kill our Copter, so will the Abrupt Decay. Abrupt Decay kills Liliana, though. So is Grimflayer. We could take Grimflayer and just give our opponent removal. That might be better. Yeah, so what they can kill the Copter, but they're just gonna get. We're just gonna get. You know, they're just gonna get drowned out by Lingering Souls here. So I'm just gonna take the Grimflayer, take the threat away, get our souls back. All right, I like where we're at here. Our opponent has Abrupt Decay, Fatal Push. We have Copter and Lingering Souls value, not to mention Bloodghast. So they need to just to stabilize, they need to Abrupt Decay Liliana immediately. Then they need to push the Copter so we don't get card selection out of it. And then they need to top deck better than us. And by that, they need to... They have to burn those 2 cards just to stabilize the board. And then they have to deal with the 4 Lingering Souls tokens we're going to have, plus the Mutavault, plus the Dread Wanderer recursion. So not a great position for our opponent. And if they didn't draw a land... Yeah, this is nice. Okay, so we will go ahead and crew up the Copter here. Well, yeah, I'm going to crew up Copter this way. Get the attack in. Loot away the Dread Wanderer, I suppose. The loot what I drew there depended on whether or not I was going to loot or what I was going to do, because I was going to play, if it was something bad or whatever, land, I'd probably just pitch it, play the Dread Wanderer, play the other one from the graveyard. But this way we would get to Scholar them and Lingering Souls. So we just had all the right cards for the matchup there. All right, on to the sideboard. I don't know exactly what we want, to be honest. I'm going to get rid of a Bloodghast. It's definitely going to be an extremely grindy matchup, that's for sure, but I think we want the things that can block. So we'll get rid of a few of those. Yeah, I mean, all these cards are what we want. You know, the Scholars maybe aren't great. The Brutality is, you know, the Brutality is good for... Brutality is actually just good. Maybe on the draw especially, we want Brutalities. Maybe we want less Liliana. Brutality kills a Grimflayer on turn 2 while giving us discard, and we, you know, the Bloodghasts are sort of a discard outlet. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not sure exactly the mix of what we want here in this matchup. Is we clearly need some of the, maybe just 1 Damnation. All right, I think I'm gonna give this a shot. Bloodghast is very good, but on the draw, I think we're in the defensive position, which makes me like Brutality a lot to kill the 2-drops and get to duress them and hopefully pitch something for value. I don't think I want to go full Leyline of the Void here. I don't think I want to attack their mana base. You know, Anguish of Making's tempting. Is it better than Liliana? Maybe. This might work. Anguish of Making is a nice catch-all in a situation where Liliana might not be. And I think Gravecrawler is better than Bloodghast, just for the purposes of it's a turn 1 play. It allows us to crew Copter a little easier. Not sure though. I'm not sure if boarding out Liliana is correct either. On the play, I definitely want Liliana, but on the draw, it's just so much worse. Whereas this, you know, the Brutalities are what we want on the draw, because Liliana in hand does not kill the 2-drop. Brutality in hand does. And, you know, might give value, right? If we actually get a sweet one where we get a discard, say, you know, a Bloodghast and a Gravecrawler to kill a Dark Confidant and arrest them. Well, I guess just discarding one of those is all we want. The life drain is, you know, probably mediocre, but definitely something to Leyline of the Void, right? Our opponent, I'm sure, has Tarmogoyfs, but it's basically just Goyfs and Kolaghan's Command, so I don't think it's worth it. I think our deck is built pretty well to grind, but it doesn't necessarily grind well on the defensive. It's better attacking simply because of all the camp block creatures we have. All right, so we'll see. We're going to start things off with a sweet mulligan. I just think it would be great if, like, some of these were lands. All right. Oh, man. I can't keep this, can I? We just get Inquisitioned, and it's so embarrassing. On the other hand, Brutality is very good, but there's not even any value discard to it. All right, I guess this is what we're keeping. All right, gotta bottom the non-land card. This is our best hand yet. Yeah, well, look at it this way. You mulligan to 5, you need something to go right for you. We may as well... I'd rather have a hand of all gas and need to draw lands than have all lands and need to draw gas like our 6 was. Either way, it looks like game 2 might not be much of a game. Although we do quite a bit with this one. This is the Dark Conf. It's a flare, huh? Okay. Well, if that one had been a land and we could have Thoughtseize pushed, that would have been pretty nice. I could give him an activation. I could Thoughtseize. I should, in fact, I should probably Thoughtseize because we're just dead to Liliana. Okay, you know what? Most of these are beatable. They're going to get a turn with the with a Grimflayer trigger, and I don't want to give them a Grimflayer trigger, but we can push it later. Whereas if they have Liliana there, we're just dead. And we pretty much would have been just dead to Tracker as well. Talk about, you know, long-term value. All right, if we draw a land, it can go Dreadwander or Fatal Push. That'd be pretty great. Ooh, it's a lot of lands our opponent doesn't have to draw now. There's the Overgrown Tomb. That is not a land. All right, well, we'll push the Grimflayer. Well, you know what? This is... I don't want to get too excited here, but this is theoretically our opponent's hand is the kind of hand we could beat because it's just removal, and removal is going to trade 1 for 1, and we have plenty of stuff it can trade with, right? As long as they're not killing us and actually punishing us for not having lands, then we might be able to mount a comeback here. They're going to Inquisition away, I assume, probably Copter. Yeah, take the Liliana. That's fine. Whoop. Ooh, I almost F6 through my turn there. We do actually have a play, as it turns out. Oops, I made white mana. All right. All right, we got Dread Wanderer. We're in business. Dread Wanderer value. Our opponent only has 3 card types. It's not the worst. If there's a Grimflayer, it's a 2/2 Grimflayer. We can trade with it. All right, it's been pushed. And they're up to 4 card types. Okay, well, this is a Mishra's Bauble. All right. So it's less Jund. Are there Death Shadows in there? All right, deck, give me a land, please. Okay, not a land, but we can cast it. This is kind of rough after our 6-card hand being... We went no lands on 7, 5 lands on 6. We're on 1 land, 10 cards into the deck on 5 here. But not dead. Ooh, now we're in business. All right. Our opponent has Abrupt Decay. Don't want to run Copter out there for them to immediately get value. Let's just play our Recursive Threat. All right. If we hit another land here, right? If our next land is Concealed Courtyard, we'd theoretically be back in it. Our opponent's sitting on, you know, great removal. It's a problem. The push got played. Well, that's pretty annoying. Nothing to the world. The real problem is going to be if our opponent actually plays a threat we have to care about. Imagine a Tireless Tracker right now. Wow, Abrupt Decay, the Bloodghast. Okay. Are they going to pop the Spell Bomb here? All right. All right, so our opponent has 3 cards in hand. And they Abrupt Decayed as well, right? I don't know if it was a new one. Whatever. We know they have Pulse. So our opponent has 3 cards in hand. We have... Ooh. That's sort of value. I mean, I'm just going to play Copter here, but that's a good draw. This is the kind of Modify that could get there. We'll see. The best possible play, I suppose, for us at this point is if our opponent runs just like a 2-drop out there that we can Brutality if they play Dark Confidant or something. We're in a lot of trouble if our opponent does anything real, right? If they actually play good cards. But look at it this way. Our opponent has 3 cards in hand, and we have sort of 5-ish relevant cards, whereas they only have a max of 3 relevant cards at this point. We're real dead to them playing anything good, though. Like a Traverse for a Death Shadow. Although I doubt it's for a Death Shadow, given that they're at 15 life. Although with the 2 fetches, they can lose another 6 and go to 9 and have a 4/4 Death Shadow. Yeah, I hope we draw land. Alright, well, they're thinking it over. And we know they have Maelstrom Pulse still. What? Ishkana Graph Widow. Well, that's a nice Anguish Unmaking target if I've ever seen one. And they're passing the turn. Interesting. That's... Alright, excuse me. I better sneeze. Oh, sorry about that. I turned away from the mic. Alright. Let's go ahead and crew up the Copter here. I suspect it's going to get killed by... I think they still have Abrupt Decay. I'm not entirely sure, but we'll find out here. It would be very nice if we get to attack. I can loot away the Lingering Souls. Maybe, I might. We don't... Now that we have a 3rd land, we don't need another land. Alright, here comes the Abrupt Decay. Oh gosh, that's worse for us. Alright. That was pretty good. It was a backbreaking Kolaghan's command, as it turns out. Alright, well, oh man, and we're not going to get an opportunity to kill that tracker. Alright, well, it just got hard. Kolaghan's command confirmed the breaker. There's no way to play around it. There's nothing we could have done. If our opponent does something else with their mana besides just hold up clues, then we can Brutality it to death. But that seems unlikely. They are playing around. It's possible they cast something else. There's 3 cards in hand for them, one of which is Ishkana rather. It's another Copter. That's not bad. All right, so I attack with Dread Wanderer here. Hope that they block and pop a clue. If they fall into that trap, I don't know if you call it a trap or not, but if that's the line they take, it is a risky line, sort of, but if that's the line they take, we're actually in pretty good shape. Because then we can Brutality it to death and nab a card. Unfortunately, we're not going to get that lucky. Oh, we are? Okay, great. Wow, okay. Sure. I mean, this is obviously not great for us, but, you know, it was going to be bad no matter what we did. All right, choose that opponent, that creature, pitch our Lingering Souls. What are we looking at? Maelstrom Pulse and Terminate, huh? And Ishkana. Well, this is all going to be a problem, and this game's going to be extremely difficult to win. But I think we take the Terminate. I think we want to take Terminate. Maelstrom Pulse kills both tokens. But it's sorcery speed. Also kills a Liliana or something. Although when this Ishkanal comes down, we're just dead anyways. I guess I'll take the... Oh, these stupid tokens are going to be the death of us. I guess I'm going to take the Terminate. Alright, well, let's pass the turn and see what we can do here. Sorry, excuse my sneezing and sniffling. I'm getting over being ill. Alright, well, we're going to die to these stupid tokens, but... Yep. Not sure what we could draw to get out of this one. Oh, Damnation, Land Damnation. Well, we know what their last card is. Okay. So basically, we're playing to Land Damnation because that's the only way we're going to win this game. So given that, opponent has Maelstrom Pulse in hand, huh? Given that we just want to survive for as long as possible, because that's the only thing that's going to save us. Our opponent's also just going to activate this. We're going to lose 1 life for his 4 spiders. Their 4 spiders. I'm just going to do this. I don't even know. We take 7 this turn. We go to 6. Next turn I can play... We need to draw land. I can play Lingering Souls. And then they pulse the souls away. Yeah, I think we're dead here. That Kolaghan's Command was a game breaker. Obviously, we mulled to 5 and didn't get to do anything, but also it was a very good Kolaghan's Command. Kolaghan's Command pretty good against our Smuggler's Copter deck, that's for sure. And they know what they're getting, yeah. Yep, there's the Scoos. That's pretty good. All right. I believe that we are dead. I do not think we have ways to survive. There goes our Lingering Souls. I can die. All right. Well, fair enough. Knowing that there's Ishkanal hiding over there, I want that other Damnation. That's for sure. Back on the play, we want Liliana's. Probably cut some brutalities here. Honestly, going to cut a couple Copters after seeing the Kolaghan's Command. Copter's great, but got to cut something, and Kolaghan's Command is a complete blowout. All right, back on the draw. I don't think I want the English to make it. I'm fine getting another Bloodghast in here. Our opponent is on the... They do have the Nihil Spell Bombs to wreck our graveyard, which is annoying. But we just want to kind of curve out on them here. I think this is fine. The Scholars are still hit or miss here, but we can take a more aggressive tilt, and then they really won't expect Damnation. Damnation would be quite the blowout. We can follow that up with our recursions. So I think this is fine. I think the Path Deck, Singleton Path Exile is okay as well. It's mana efficient. It's not ideal always, right? But it's mana efficient. Copters are good, but yeah, you don't want to get... Do not want to get blown out by Kolaghan's Command again, that's for sure. This is a keep. This hand is nice. Not perfect, right? But nice. Guess we start with the Godless Shrine. Our opponent's not going to have a turn 1 creature. This hand has a high upside, rather. It's you know, if our opponent makes us discard Liliana and then, you know, just doesn't have stuff that lines up well, it could get pretty bad, but the Fatal Pushes keep their aggressive starts under control. Now, on the play, this is a hand I'd like more on the draw, but on the play, I would have rather had, you know, something aggressively slanted for us, but, you know, that's not to be, so at least we can control our opponent. Lingering Soul is still very good, obviously, so that's nice. What we do not want to do is draw land. Yeah, it makes sense. All right, well, play this one tapped. Okay, well, 4 lands is good. That's Damnation mana. Any more lands, things start to get pretty ugly, so we'll see here. Our deck does not want to be on 5 or more lands, that's for sure. 4 might be the perfect number. We'll see if they run anything out here for us to Fatal Push. Nope. Okay. Well, is this Inquisition going to trade with half a Lingering Souls, or are they going to take a Fatal Push? Shouldn't be a hard choice, because they know we drew Godless Shrine. They saw it with Mishra's Bauble. And it takes half a Lingering Souls. Yeah, it actually makes sense. Lingering Souls is the hardest card for them to deal with. Bloodghast, huh? Alright. I'm just going to lead with the Bloodghast. It's the much more recursive of the 2 threats. And it beats down. I mean, Lingering Soul is obviously right. It's a Lingering Soul. It's great, but I think the Bloodghast is a cleaner one because maybe they were playing on Maelstrom Pulsing the Lingering Souls tokens and washing their hands of that card. Whereas it doesn't quite work with Bloodghast, and we get a poke in for some damage. All right, double Fatal Push in hand is not a bad spot to be. I wish we had a fetch land rather than the swamp just so we could guarantee Revolt if we needed it. Also, our opponent could just get to 5 mana and play Ishkanah with Delirium, and that would be a disaster for us as well because those stupid little spider tokens are pretty good in Modern in a matchup like this. Insane in a matchup like this, as a matter of fact. All right, our opponent is going pretty deep into the tank here, figure out what they want to play. This is such odd Inquisition of cause of that card. I know people are like, it's kind of, I've seen a split as to whether or not people really like this or they like the original. I prefer the original. I can respect that this is something different, though. It's kind of weird, I won't lie, though. I don't know. I can approve of these basics, though. These solid BFC basics. I've been a fan of these bolus lands, though, with the horns. They've been great. I don't know how I feel about Unstable. That's the big discussion topic, right? I'll be honest. When I look at them individually, I think they're kind of beautiful, right? They look great. They're awesome pieces of art. Then I saw them at the World Magic Cup, which I was covering. I was there, and I was watching backstage on the big monitor. And the islands, I'm just looking at them next to Rootbound Crags and, and other so on, right? Standard lands, and they just look so different and so out of place, and I don't know. So I think they're really cool, and maybe I'll get used to them. Maybe that's how people felt about Unhinged Unstable when they first came out as well. I'm not sure, but I look at the Unstable lands and I'm not just blown away by them in play, and I expected to be. So I don't know. It's interesting. Unstable itself has impressed me. I'm definitely not into joke sets, but I have done a few drafts, and I think some parts work, some parts don't, right? I think watermarks are kind of odd. It's something that's not easy to pay attention to. They're hard to see. Whatever. I think some of the joke cards, like you get a 2-headed giant partner, or you animate your library or whatever. Those are cool. They're fun. I don't think that they are particularly enjoyable Magic, right? This first time, sure, but after that, it's just terrible. But what I do like are the contraptions. I think contraptions are great. They feel like a really natural part of Magic because they're small effects. There's strategy in where you put them, and they matter, right? They impact the game, and it makes you feel like you're playing Magic, but with an added element. It's kind of like Plane Chase, only honestly less random than Plane Chase, and you can play around it, and you can interact with them, and you can even destroy contraptions. And I really like that. Unfortunately, I see them, and I think, wow, normal like I could see myself drafting a normal Magic set. Not Unstable, but say Ixalan, with contraptions built into it as a theme of the set, and I think it would actually be pretty fun. But I don't know how you can make it work, right? I don't think you can make a contraption deck just part of a normal Magic set. It would be a disaster to try to have it at a Pro Tour and, so on, right? I get all the problems with it. I'm just saying that when I play it, I think it was actually pretty enjoyable and it was a lot of fun. and I was honestly impressed. Now, I think that it doesn't necessarily mix well with the joke elements, right? You're playing serious Magic-ish, right? You're playing real Magic, quote unquote, and you're playing with contraptions, and they add this new element to the game, and it's cool. And then, your opponent animates their library and attacks you for 45 or whatever, and you're just like, okay, I guess we did it. The joke elements and the real Magic elements don't play great together, in my opinion, even though I think both have their merits separately. But anyways, that's my 60-second take on Unstable. Overall, I was impressed by the set. It sounds like it's selling well, according to what Wizard said. That's pretty cool. I know that at my store, we've been just burning through boxes. People love it. But all right, well, I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording here. I'm not going to make you listen to my thoughts all day long here while we wait for our opponent to make a play. But I will pick this recording back up when our opponent returns. Thanks for watching. I'll see you back in a minute.